Alrighty, everything seems all good and dandy. Let's continue on with the wiki page from where we left off. And preparation impacts the United States. Meteorological history. Alrighty. Gotcha. I didn't go through this picture along with some of the contents under it. Even talking about the contents here, I just read up the paragraph for this. But other than that, let's just continue on. Reading this. There's the terminology wiki page, which I also want to talk about. I feel like this is a good end segue to talk about the winter storm. Yeah, let's just talk about the winter storm here. Contents: number 1, meteorological history. 2, preparations and impact. Along with 3 through 6 are just resources, because preparation and impact follow so many countries, in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So let's read on here. Canada is a big country, but compared to the US, at least, most of it is habitable, because in Canada it's really, really cold. And what is it? Also, the US is like around the same size as Russia. So, that's the big thing at scale. The difference between US and Russia is that Russia has the eastern part, where there's the Siberian region, which is not that inhabitable with many people because of so many things: infrastructure, lack of people moving in, migration, history, all that. Without further ado, meteorological history. On February 13th, a frontal storm developed off the coast of the Pacific Northwest and moved ashore, before moving southeastward, with the storm becoming disorganized in the process. During this time, the storm reached a minimum pressure of 992 millibars, 29.3 INHG, I don't know what that is, over the Rocky Mountains. On the same day, the Weather Channel gave the storm the unofficial name Winter Storm Uri, due to the unexpected impacts from the storm, because people who are named Uri are unexpected people. Due to the expected impacts from the storm, the Federal Communications Commission later adopted the name of their reports after February 17th. Over the next couple of days, the storm began to develop as it entered the southern United States and moved into Texas. On February 15th, the system developed a new surface low off the coast of the Florida Panhandle as the storm turned northeastward and expanded in size. On February 16th, the storm developed another low-pressure center to the north as the system grew more organized. While moving towards the northeast, later that day, the storm broke in half, with the nearest storm moving northward into Quebec, while the original system moved off the east coast of the United States. By the time the winter storm exited the U.S. late on February 16th, the combined snowfall from the multiple winter storms within the past month has left nearly 75% of the contiguous United States covered by snow. On February 17th, the storm's secondary dissipated. The storm's secondary low dissipated as the system approached landfall on Newfoundland. intensifying the process. At 12 UTC that day, the storm's central pressure reached 985 millibars, 29.1 INGHG. As the center of the storm moved over Newfoundland. On the same day, the storm was given the name Belram by the Free University of Berlin. The storm continued to strengthen as it moved across the North Atlantic, with the storm's central pressure dropping to 960 millibars, 28 INHG, by February 19th. On February 20th, the storm developed a second low-pressure area and gradually began to weaken as it moved northwestward towards Iceland. Afterward, the storm turned westward and moved across southern Greenland on February 22, weakening even further as it did so. The storm then stalled south of Greenland, but continuing to weaken before dissipating on February 24th. Preparations and impact. Alrighty, United States. This is going to be a long one. On February 14th, the expected impacts from the storm resulted in over 170 million Americans being placed under various winter weather alerts across the United States. Over 120 million of those people were placed under winter storm warnings or ice storm warnings by the National Weather Service. The winter storm caused power grids to fail across the U.S., causing blackouts for over 5.2 million homes and businesses, the vast majority of which were in the state of Texas, which became one of the largest blackout events in modern U.S. history. The largest one since the Northeast blackout of 2003. The storm left at least 70 people dead across the United States, the vast majority of whom were in Texas. Insurers estimated the damages from the blackouts may reach $19 billion, which is roughly equivalent to the amount insured damage that Hurricane Harvey caused in Texas in 2017. Alright, now let's go to the Northwest. The winter storm was the second of the two north storms that swept through the region within a 1 week period. 11.1 inches, 28 centimeters of snow in Seattle, Washington, compounded the previous storm. This was the largest 2-day snowfall recorded in Seattle since 1972. Alrighty. The Portland metro area was hit very hard by the storm, which brought a mix of snow and ice to the region. 9.4 inches, 24 centimeters of snow fell at Portland International Airport on February 12th through 13th. Yeah. That's when a bunch of snow was coming around the entire U.S. mainland. The most snow to fall over the city in a 2-day period since 1968. Over 270,000 people were left without power in the region, and the government declared a state of emergency. 9.9 inches, 25 centimeters of snow also fell in Boise, Idaho during this same time period, making this the largest recorded 2-day snowfall for that city since 1996. Yeah, because in the 90s there was a lot of winter storms that occurred in the U.S. Southwest. The storm brought heavy snow and bitterly cold temperatures to Colorado and New Mexico. Snow amounts in Colorado range from a few inches in the north to over 2 feet, 0.661 meters in the San Juan Mountains in the southern part of the state. In New Mexico, the storm system brought a combination of heavy snow, strong winds, and bitterly cold temperatures. On February 14th, a blizzard warning was issued for the Albuquerque metro area due to strong winds exceeding 50 miles per hour (mph), cold temperatures, and blowing snow. Meanwhile, winter storm warnings were issued for much of the rest of New Mexico. Up to 2 feet of snow fell in the mountains of northern and central New Mexico. Snow amounts in the Albuquerque metro area range from 2 to 6 inches Interstate 40 through the Albuquerque metro area was closed for several hours due to numerous motor vehicle crashes caused by the icy conditions. Southern New Mexico received up to 2 inches of snow accumulation, with locally higher amounts in the mountains. Central and Southern Plains. With the threat of icing, the Texas Department of Transportation, TxDOT, pre-treated roadways using brine salt mix across 6 southeast Texas counties for the first time on record. National Weather Service, through its 13 regional offices serving Texas and adjoining portions of Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arkansas, and Louisiana, issued winter storm warnings for all 254 counties in the state. Yeah, also as the see also 2021 Texas power crisis. Talk more about it, but it's over. Also, I haven't got to look at the thumbnail of the pictures, and even this. I was so occupied with just trying to get everything read. I forgot about that. Alrighty. Let's go back to this picture. I want to see this category 3 major. So yeah, Winter Storm Uri. So this is how it looks while covering the entire globe. So these are Great Lakes, along with here's the Florida sticking out. Its little pee out, and along with the Atlantic coast. And we can barely see a bit of the Gulf Coast too. That's stretching from Georgia to Florida. Yeah. Satellite imagery of the winter storm over the eastern third of the United States on February 16th. And it even has it here: extra tropical cyclone, winter storm, blizzard, ice storm, yada yada yada. It's funny how, yeah, we even still have cyclones in the Americas. But you know, that goes to show that there is more cyclones than hurricanes. If you don't get that reference, that is just referring to the terminology where pretty much tropical cyclones usually be just called hurricanes here, and in some places like in East Asia they would call it typhoons. But you know, interchangeably they tend to use cyclones. However, here people just refer to hurricanes. But this goes to show that all of them are just cyclones. It's just easier just to remember that. Yeah, EF3 tornado showing damages, casualties, areas affected. Pacific Northwest, Western United States, Southern United States, Eastern United States. So yeah, it's not the entire Pacific. So it's not affecting California. California is a big state that covers the Pacific, which are just 3, well technically it's 4 states. Washington, Oregon, California. The 4th state would have been Nevada, but I don't know. Nevada is very closely similar to New Mexico and Arizona, but I think it's the relations between, what is it? Resource management between the state of Nevada and California. You know, that's the thing. Yeah. Here's the video, which I don't want to play the whole thing. Just one thumbnail. Yeah. There's that. The drone shot of Houston, Texas. Yeah. Okay, so in my end, my monitor that is streaming here just cut out. I'm not sure if it's because I'm playing this video. You know what? Let me play this video and see what's happened. It looks like it doesn't end the stream though, because what is it? It's a power issue. It's still connected, so it's, I don't know. Let me see. this video while this streams and see if when my monitor powers off and then back on, does it affect the stream? So yeah, this is pretty much, what was it, Oregon? A drone shot showing over the snow that's covering the area. Yeah. Portland, Oregon, February 14th. So, yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, we read through to the central and southern plains. So that pretty much is most of Texas. Might as well look at the drone footage of Houston. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of loading. If it buffers too much, it just takes up a lot of time. Then I just like move on. Okay, that's a bit too much. Let me refresh it. So that's Houston, Texas. The city that is very close to the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. And it's a bit of a odd place. Having this much snow, it's just not. It's not normal. And this is what people had to live with unexpectedly, suddenly. Even while being way uncomfortable. Alright, so if I load it up, it's gonna buffer? No, it's not gonna buffer much. Alright. On February 14th through 15th, the storm dropped prolific amounts of snow across Texas and Oklahoma as a result of the winter storm and the concurrent cold wave. Power grids, unable to sustain the higher than normal energy and heating demand from residential and business customers, failed across the Texas interconnection. At the peak of the outages, at least 4.5 million Texas residents were left without electricity. Two of the electricity label commissions servicing the southern U.S., the Southwestern Power Pool (SPP). I'm just gonna say SPP or SWP. Yeah, because I don't think there's really no pronunciation. It's an acronym that exists just for the sake of it existing. And the Electrical Reliable Council of Texas, ERCOT. I know that because people actually do pronounce the whole thing that way. After all, if it's very long, then so around like 5+, then people usually would just say the acronym as a word instead of just the individual letters. Ordered rolling blackouts for 14 states amid the frigid temperatures. No, it's frigid. Yeah, it's frigid temperatures in an attempt to manage the strain on the power grid and prevent widespread long-duration blackouts. The controlled outages were initiated after the Southwest Power Pool declared level 3 emergency energy alerts on both February 15th and 16th. The SPP and ERCOT faced criticism by government officials and residents in the government for the limited advanced. Yeah, my monitor is blacked out. Shoot. And looked at the stream, no issues. Oh man, I hope you all will know my pain. If anyone's listening. I'm gonna do it again if I drink water. Because I don't think it's related to the GPU and the connections. I think it's something with power outlet. But yeah, it looks like I gotta disconnect everything and reconnect everything once I finish, just to see what's uppity up, what's the uppity up, and do what is right. Alrighty. Face criticism, region, yada yada yada. Alright, let me just reread this part. The SPP and ERCOT face criticism by government officials and residents in the region for the limited advance notice of the outages and for not outlining the specific areas serviced by SPP partner utilities that would be affected. Not affected, but affected. There's a difference, which I still don't know really. What's the difference? At one point during the rolling outages, over 4.2 million people across the south central states were left without power, with over 3.5 million of them in Texas alone. The rolling blackouts led to calls by Governor Greg Abbott. Yeah, it's Greg Abbott. For the Texas legislature to conduct investigations into preparations decisions undertaken by ERCOT in advance of the storm. Some of the blackouts were initiated as several cities throughout the central and southern plains experienced record overnight low temperatures. On February 16th alone, daily record lows were broken in Oklahoma City, negative 14 Fahrenheit, negative 26 Celsius, the city's coldest temperature since 1899, and its second coldest on record. Dallas, negative 2 Fahrenheit, negative 19 Celsius, the city's coldest temperature since 1930, and its second coldest on record. Houston, 13 Fahrenheit, negative 11 Celsius, the city's coldest temperature since 1989. Then San Antonio, 12 Fahrenheit, negative 11 Celsius, the coldest temperature since 1989. And Little Rock, negative 1 Fahrenheit, negative 18 Celsius, the city's coldest temperature since 1989. With all-time low temperatures being set in Fayetteville, Arkansas, negative 28 Celsius, negative 29 Celsius. No, negative 20 Fahrenheit, negative 29 Celsius. And Hastings, Nebraska, negative 30 Fahrenheit, negative 34 Celsius. Wind chills on the morning of February 15th were in the minus 50s as far south as the Kansas-Nebraska border. Oh boy, that took a lot out of me. But yeah, it actually shows the actual temperatures and stuff. So I thought this is pretty much history. Not just because it just passed due, but this is something, people will reflect on and looking at. It doesn't surprise me that they made this Wiki page. What did surprise me is that they didn't include it in any other any references, links, hyperlinks to other wiki pages like ice storms, winter storms, and winter storm disasters that occurred around the U.S. or other places. But there could be other reasons why. Nothing could be because it's affecting people to this day too. Alrighty. So, as we know, this is just a lot. A lot. I even remember that this graph, I'm not going to go into length at all. I will go into details, like, Mexico, Canada, but I was able to at least talk about a few of the regions, and then specifically Texas. So there's that. I should finish this. So, should we look at the drone? Nah. This is just icy roads. Amateur footage of rows of empty shelves in Texas Walmart store. Yeah, let's look at that because I'm curious about that too. And then we look through this picture. Let me. Should I? Nah. This is not a graphic Wiki page, so I could play videos without much issues. Yeah, let's go. This actually a person who uploaded his experience. But yeah, we're getting to the part where Walmart. Yeah, they're showing that people are trying to use what they have. And this person's walking, this person is relaxing, trying to stay warm and stuff. Okay. Yeah, the Walmart part was here. Okay. Please. Let me pause on volume. Alrighty. So people took the fruit. People didn't take tomatoes though. And you got the meat. Yeah, at least they have apple pie. You should dip. Yeah, where's the canned food though? Okay. Yeah, they briefly just showed in the Walmart stores. But yeah, that's the thing. Not that people actually would buy as much food as they can, but it's mostly possible that they just can't get food in the stores because the roads, infrastructure is just going haywire. That's a tragedy about it. All right, finishing off. This is a solid image of Houston, Texas, February 7th. Then the 16th, you see not much lights, but at least there's some lights. And that shows everything related to Oklahoma. And then you have the Great Lakes where everything is an issue. Southeast, well, to Louisiana and stuff. Okay, let me actually just read parts of this since I could do quick. Virginia implemented it in weather state of emergency effective February 12th, which continued into the following week. Storms, severe weather outbreaks struck the southeastern United States on February 15th with large hail, damaging winds, and 5 tornadoes affecting 5 states. Tornadoes, that is the thing that, oh god, that's just scary, and you gotta live with. Alright, now let's just go to Mexico and then Canada. The winter storms strained the power grids in northern Mexico, leading to cascading blackouts for 4 million homes and businesses in Mexico. Low as 18 Celsius, 0 Fahrenheit. Lancidia, Juarez, Chihuahua, Rio Bravo, Matamoros, Tampao. Okay, I don't know the pronunciation. Increase the use of oil and coal and to produce electricity. Yeah. Now they have Canada. In Ontario, Snowfall's warning were issued in advance of the winter storm. Buses were cancelled across the greater Toronto area. The highest totals of the regions were over 30 centimeters, 12 inches in the Hamilton and Niagara region. Yeah, this whole paragraph, it just talks about, yeah, they had snow. a large amount of it, but that's pretty much it. Along with the resources of things that occurred. So, yeah. Alright, I already finished this. And I could just talk about the terminology and stuff, but hey, this happened days ago. Days ago. And now it's going to be in history. And at least you have some insight of what happened. And, we'll see what else I read about that recently occurred these past few years. Other than that, so long.